You can actually say that it was a logistical masterpiece of how to structure and how to execute the entire murder machine.
This was so fascinating to learn about, and what a beautiful tribute um, that, oh my gosh, that these people have like dedicated their lives to in so many different ways. And it was really beautiful to see the time and the care that it takes to make each one of these pieces. And, he said, I think he said, I'm going to have work for the next 80 years, which is, it goes to show just how many there are to make, which is devastating. Um, and also how much time and care goes into making each one and honoring it. And I also love the idea that the stones need to be continually polished, and that people from the community can take it upon themselves to polish it and keep those memories alive and pay respect and reverence. They're just really special reminders of these were real people who lived where you lived, who lived in your community, and it's not so like far from home. It's not, they're not so different from you. They could be any one of us. And I think having that realness and having it so close and having this interaction um, with these people in this really special way, these people who are no longer with us, is just, yeah, it's so sentimental. And what a beautiful project and way of honoring the dead, but also bringing in new people and just keeping it alive, keeping it at the top of mind. This is just really important work that's happening, and I'm really happy that I got to learn about it.
Tracks details a really amazing effort to remember the victims of the Holocaust. Make sure that they're never lost to history. It's a really interesting project. Placing the names of victims of the Holocaust by the places they used to live. It shows that they were as much a part of the community as anybody else, and that they deserve to be there. Literally puts them back where they belong, which is kind of amazing and a great rebuttal to the idea of the Holocaust, which is really cool. I love the idea that all like the metal work, commemorative plates, and everything have to be made by hand, because the concentration camps were like death factories, death machines. Everything was mechanical, so you couldn't use machinery to create memorials to the victims of that death machinery. You have to do it by hand. I think that's really cool and it's really interesting. It says a lot about industrialization and stuff. But also, the fact like the metalwork guy said he would have to do this for 80 more years to do just the victims of Holocaust who were from the Netherlands. Like the display of like commitment and love as well, that is genuinely like astonishing. It's such a moving and commendable project, and I'm like so glad that it exists.
I love tracks. I really like tracks. I always say the strength of a documentary rises and dies on the subject matter, and this is some of the best subject matter, some of the most interesting, some of the most fascinating, some of the most engrossing subject matter, really, because it's like, I never thought about remembering, paying tribute to such a tragic event in this way, in this country. And it's a dope tribute. Like all around, it's a good idea, executed well, executed with care. And then this documentary does that justice, does these people and this team and this idea justice. It's like something that's like a good idea on every level, everywhere, all around, everything, everywhere, all at once. So kudos to everybody involved. I hope it continues. So we'll do a good job.
This film is called Tracks. This was a moving short. It addresses a tribute to Jews who were murdered in World War II. A brilliant idea has been developed to place bricks with golden plaques in the streets of Amsterdam, each plaque listing names and details of those who were murdered in the Holocaust and who once lived in these streets. It was amazing to see the footage of the careful creation of these items and the interviews of the people involved with the project. These dedicated individuals will keep the memory of these people alive. The touching orchestrals were also perfect for this short. Well done.
Tracks. This film is amazing. It really was. It hits you right in the heart. What they're doing is so important and so wonderful. I think that the way that this was shot was beautifully done. How they set it up, how they show you what's going on, how they're, talking with the community and seeing how the community is reacting to this. I loved it. I loved everything about this. I think there were great music choices as well in this. But what was so important was to have these stones placed there in front of the houses so that we're constantly reminded of this history. Therefore, we don't repeat the same mistakes that we made in the past. That's huge. And it's very, very important. And yes, everybody's memory lives on with this, where you have those names engraved there. So I loved this. I thought that it was beautiful and heartfelt and done so incredibly well. Thank you for making this.
I really enjoyed this film. I enjoyed learning about the Stolpersteine. Um, what a fantastic idea! I think these are just really some remarkable people doing this, and for all the right reasons. Um, the documentary itself is just really thoughtfully put together. That's just really good editing. We get, right away the idea, we get the history, we get to go out and seeing it being done. I think it's just a lovely idea, a way to, a tribute, I guess, or a commemoration to all the lives lost. And so, I mean, I'm glad this piece exists so that I I was able to stumble over it, um, because otherwise I would not have heard of this probably, and it just deserves all the appreciation and admiration for its existence, and that goes not only for the actual Stoppelsteiners, of course, but for the filmmakers for just putting this out there in the world for more people to be able to stumble upon and appreciate as much as I have. It's great work.
This film shows that there's still beauty in humanity, keeping memories alive. Because someone says, if the lady said in the film, if you don't acknowledge history, you're doomed to repeat it. And this is something we're starting to see repeating with anti-Semitic ideologies. This is something that I don't know who was the first person who came up with it, to put gold stones in the ground as memories to people who lived there that died in the Holocaust. I think it's a beautiful tribute, and that these people probably have a special place in heaven. It's something that I would like to know who started this, when it started, because I realize the guy in it's doing it, and I don't know if he's the one that started it or not. But I do think it's beautiful that it's being done, and that this film is bringing acknowledgement to something that's a simple but sweet way to commemorate people who died due to hate. It was well done. I appreciate the subtitles, even though it's in English, because sometimes accents are hard to hear. This was just really well done, and say if I'm in that part of the world, I'll look out for the little gold stones that are there in memory of people who died in the war.